Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for this week's reading. I'm going to be working with the Psychic Tarot. So as always, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. Take the parts that do and leave the rest. Having said that, we'll get right into the reading. I'm just burning some Palo Santo to clear the energy, and we'll get right into it. All right, so let's get started. Oops. Okay, that's a lot of cards. I'm just going to take one that flew aside and the rest I'll put it back. 3 cards, please. Okay, so these are really flipping out, and I'm going to keep the cards as it is. The first card we have is Throat Chakra, okay? So for many of you, this is really aligning with your life purpose of sharing your purpose and sharing your voice and bringing that forward. And most light workers, we find it so hard to share our voice because most of the times as when we are children, we felt we were different, we were the odd one out, and then our soul's purpose is also to share on a larger scale. So it's really about stepping out of our comfort zone, right? And I remember when Spirit wanted me to do this work, I had a lot of fears that stemmed out, and limited beliefs and thoughts that I'm not good enough, I can't do this, this is beyond me, things like that. But this is about really working on opening that throat center. Interestingly, I'm wearing a blue lapis lazuli today, and that is also that's really good for the throat chakra. That's also good for the third eye. So it's about you sharing your truth. And when you share your truth, not everyone's gonna agree with you, but it's your energy, and when you express your truth, when you share your truth, you will draw like-minded individuals. You will draw individuals who are on the same vibration. In fact, a lot of times I feel there are people that are seeking you out, and when you share your voice, when you share your inspirations, they are drawn to you because that is exactly what they are waiting for. Okay, so I feel like this is something that you will have to work on, okay, by sharing your truth, especially if you are conscious of public speaking, or if you're conscious of if you've had past experiences where you were not encouraged, or you were put down, or people made fun of you, whatever. There is a tendency to hold those fears and to be afraid to step out, to share your voice, to share your truth. Now, the second card we have is Triumphant Success. And whenever I look at this card, yes, this is about victory and new beginnings. This is the Ace of Swords, for those who are wondering what this is in the traditional tarot. But what I find with this, especially with this particular drawing, is you've had a victory after a lot of trials and tribulations. It's not been an easy victory. To me, this card signifies the spiritual warrior. Like, you've had to fight many battles. You've had to fight to stand in your truth. You've had to fight to live in your truth, to live the life that you've always wanted for yourself. I'm also feeling like you are cutting through a lot of darkness. As you can see, the sword is here, there's light this side, there's shadow this side. So many of you, you're doing shadow work. You're healing those parts of yourself that you rejected, that you ignored, okay? Shadow aspects are aspects of ourselves that we feel ashamed of, or that we feel that those are the aspects that nobody would like. But I always feel that in order for you to step into the light, you can't run away from the shadows. You can't run away from your inner demons. And we all have those shadows, no matter where we are on our spiritual journey. I feel that as long as we are alive and breathing, we will always have something to work on, okay? We all have our ego self, our shadow self, and those things within us. But I feel like with this card, I feel like you are conquering those inner demons. You are, even though things are challenging you, you are facing them. You are forging ahead. You are not afraid of whatever this darkness is. You're not letting anything or anyone hold you back. Now, interestingly, we had this card, and this one flew out in the reverse. So I'm going to read it like that. Upright, this card is trapped in fear. This is the Eight of Swords of the Tarot. I'm happy to see it in the reverse. That means, you know, when I look at this combination, I feel in the past you were too much in your head. You were, you know, thoughts were keeping you stuck, and you had this belief, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, and all these, you know, thought processes which may even not be yours. You know, sometimes when we are children, you know, it could be through our parents or through our peers or through our teachers, we're made to feel less because, you know, like I said, most light workers are so different that, you know, it's automatic to feel this way, that you don't quite fit in. But with this card in the reverse, I think you are letting go of those concepts, those thoughts, you know, that made you feel a certain way. You are willing to release this. This card stands really strong as a central figure of this reading. So you are, I feel like you are sifting through your life. You're trying to manage your life, and you're trying to work through whatever it is that doesn't work for you, so that you can move forward, so that you can release stuff that doesn't work for you. Okay, back of the deck we have Triumph. Okay, that's a Chariot card, and I love this card because not only is this the Chariot, it says Triumph. So I feel like, and I just saw hope underneath it as well. Okay, for those who want to see this card too. So what I'm feeling is, if you are battling with fears, if you are battling with negative thoughts that made you feel trapped in the past, you will easily overcome this. And right now, guys, the energies are very intense because of the eclipse, and I'm not really following everything because energetically I feel it, and it is too much, and you may feel agitated, or you may feel all these different emotions. But once again, it's like you are cleansing, clearing, you're doing shadow work, and some of you are consciously doing it. Some of you, you know, when you're aware of your shadows, you're see, the thing is, we all have shadows, like I mentioned earlier. When you're consciously working on it, you're like, okay, I'm aware that a certain situation or certain thing makes me feel like this. So you step outside of that situation and you view that situation as an observer, and then you're like, okay, what changes can I bring about within myself so that I can change these emotions, this anger or this fear or all these emotions that are making me feel this way. A lot of times these fears are there because most likely you've had a similar experience in your childhood, and because it was never addressed at that time, a similar situation shows up and brings out all those triggers because they were not, the initial wounding was not healed and was not addressed. However, I feel with this reading, like you are working through, you are cutting through, you are not allowing yourself to stay here, you're not allowing your thoughts to keep you trapped. So I'm really, really happy to see this in the reverse. This shows positive movement. And you know, the other thing is, guys, positive movement is not instant gratification. It's not like instant results. Most of the times when we're doing inner work, a lot doesn't even change in our external lives, okay? Because to see the results of your inner work, sometimes it takes years. And you may feel like, I'm doing so much of inner work, but nothing is changing externally for you. But I promise you guys, you know, you keep working on yourself. The thing is, it's not about instant changes. It's about, sometimes it may take 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. But eventually, when you look back at your life, you will see how far you've come and how much growth has taken place because of all the work that you've done in the past, okay? So never take it like nothing is happening, because I've had client readings where they say, I've done so much, nothing is happening. I feel like nothing is happening on surface, but a lot is happening under the surface, and sometimes these physical manifestations take more time. okay? So just be patient with yourself. I feel like you are on the right track. You are headed in the right direction. And I don't know, the number 7, I'm drawn to the 7th month of the year, or 7 by itself, the date is also significant. But I feel many of you who are watching, you will be working on your life purpose and really taking these huge steps and leaps forward in that direction. You're not going to let your fears hold you back. You're not going to let your beliefs hold you back. You're not going to let anyone who makes you feel like this hold you back, because you're really out of it. You don't want to be, because you realize that, you know, thoughts, what are fears? Fears are thoughts, and we can work through these thoughts when we know that these are just illusions, right? In the end, only love is the truth that there is. The rest is all illusion. So I really feel with this card, like you're cutting the crap out, you're cutting you know, all the illusions out, and you're starting fresh. Again, the number 1 is like you're taking the lead, you're starting fresh, you're moving forward, you're facing your challenges. 5 is a number that triggers a lot of teachings and learning. So you're going to be, you know, being triggered, but at the same time being able to overcome it. These 2 cards are telling me you will overcome whatever challenge comes through, because there is a sense of clarity. I feel with this card you have gained some sense of clarity. And when there is clarity, you know, you can work through these illusions. It's like, okay, now I can see clearly. I know why I'm reacting this way and how I can work through this to overcome these challenges and come out triumphant, successful within my life. And you know, sometimes this is what I feel. The most important triumph that you can ever have is to be able to overcome your own inner demons. There is no enemy outside of yourself. But if you are able to overcome your inner demons, your fears, guilt, shame, beliefs that you're not good enough, limitations that have been passed on through generations in society, if you are able to break through that, there can be no enemy outside. The enemy is always in your mind. But if you are able to tame that, tame your ego, know how to overcome that, you're gonna ace it. You're gonna ace it with this Ace of Swords. Nothing can hold you back, because at the end of the day, everything is a creation of your mind. But if you are able to tame your mind, if you're able to work through the illusions, you are a master creator. You're a master creator. You're a master manifester. Because you cut all the illusions, you work through all the issues of the ego, and like I said, they keep coming. Okay, so it's never like an end. Like till you are in this human body, you'll keep facing it. But once you face it and once you overcome it, you will be moving things to the next level. And that is what I'm feeling with these cards. I can hardly speak today, guys. We have the throat chakra. I don't know what's happening. A lot of energies, but I hope you get this message and I hope you enjoyed this message. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing, for being here. We'll see you soon, guys. Thank you.